for cognitive health, for tissue repair, because our brain is tissue and it does require repair, is a conversation about undereating. So here's the quick one, and this is going to sound weird, totally counterintuitive, but I think you'll get it. Fattest guy in the room eats the least. Fattest guy in the room eats the least. The big 400-pound fat guy, he's not eating cake for breakfast. He literally has 2 pairs of pants that fits. He doesn't look so good in them. He looks horrible out of them. The guy hasn't had a date in like 3 years. So Mikey, the 400-pound fat guy, literally, he's having Starbucks in the morning, like a coffee in the morning, maybe a donut. Maybe he sneaks his buddies half a bran muffin mid-morning. And at lunch, he has salad with the girls because, well, he knows he's fat. And in the afternoon, maybe he sneaks a Snickers bar in the bathroom, 2 additional cups of coffee because he's so tired. And at night, he's so tired, maybe he has soup, maybe he has a loaf of bread, maybe he has nothing. But think about Mikey for a second. If he is literally 50% body fat and no one is, then 200 pounds of him is lean tissue that is carrying 200 pounds of fat, the stuff that doesn't move, right? So Mikey's wicked athletic. Like, if anybody asked me to carry 200 pounds of stuff that doesn't move, I'd be exhausted and tired by the end of the day. So I see Mike as an athlete, that 400-pound guy with 50% body fat. As athletes, if you line up 20 of the best athletes, they will always tell you, food's first, 80% kitchen, 20% gym. And the training that you do in the ring, and your dry land training, and your cardio, and your running, and your weights, all training breaks down muscle tissue. It is a catabolic event that breaks down muscle tissue, it makes you weak, and it inflames you. Like, for example, I tell my clients here in the office, let's say I took you to Gold's Gym and took you through a leg day. At the end of leg day, you're not stronger, you're weaker. At the end of your training session for boxing, you're weaker, you're not stronger. So training breaks you down and promotes inflammation and makes you weak. What creates an anabolic event for tissue repair is your kitchen and bedroom. Bedroom, sleep hygiene, your deep REM sleep, so that your body can naturally release growth hormone for tissue repair and fat utilization while you sleep. And then your food program, actually eating enough food to promote an anabolic event for tissue repair. So what repairs tissue? Well, there are 3 macronutrients: fats, proteins, and carbohydrates. Fats are an energy source, 9 calories per gram. Carbohydrate, or sugar, is an energy source, 4 calories per gram. And protein, 4 calories per gram, is for tissue repair. Well, let's define protein. Protein is meat with eyes. Chicken, fish, steak, turkey, eggs. And nuts and seeds, a separate category, primarily fat, little protein. But if it can run, swim, literally take a dump in the woods, it's a protein. Everything else, other than nuts and seeds, is sugar. So proteins repair muscle tissue. The best time to repair your muscle tissue is when your body's at rest. Your biggest rest time is sleep. So your biggest protein meal should be dinner. So not all proteins are created equally, remember that. Chicken, poultry, kind of a benign meat. It is moderately low fat, and really the best time to have it is at lunch. And then fatty fish like salmon, sea bass, black cod, Arctic char. They promote growth hormone release, reduce inflammation, promote deep REM sleep, so they have a huge benefit when consumed at night. And so does lean red meat like filet, flank, or hanger. As it is high iron and increases hematocrit count in your red cells, it supports a higher oxygen count. So when you wake up in the morning, you are more rested and have a higher energy pattern. So fatty fish, lean red meat, biggest protein pattern should be evening, and while you're sleeping, you're digesting that. Now let's look at starch for a second, like those sugars, those carbohydrates, like potato, rice, yam, oatmeal, oat flakes, oat puffs, bread. Those starches consumed at night will interrupt sleep. You're not going to run a marathon after dinner. So dinner is protein and vegetables only for digestion, no starch at night. And, again, sounding a bit counterintuitive, always a fruit snack after dinner. The purpose of that simple sugar, that fruit, is to spike insulin and then drop you to promote a deep REM sleep. So you deep REM longer, deeper, faster. And many of my athletes and the boxers I work with, we actually use a tablespoon of blackstrap molasses instead of that fruit because it is high iron and it shuttles a lot of oxygen to your red cells to promote an endurance capacity. So remember, food programming shuttles that oxygen. Training uses it for energy. And those high iron foods always help us push oxygen into your red cells. The medical term is called hematocrit. And the high iron foods do that for us, like beets, spinach, asparagus, almonds, eggs, red meat. These are our buddies. And when it comes to carbohydrate choicing, really lunch, breakfast, that's the time to have your complex carbohydrates like your potatoes, rice, yams, oatmeal, oat flakes, oat puffs. Those are your buddies. And carbohydrates, they fall into two categories. Either they are multi-ingredient guys or they're one-ingredient guys. An example of a one-ingredient carbohydrate is a potato, rice, or yam, right, or oatmeal. And a multi-ingredient guy are the breads, muffins, bagels, Hoyt breads, sandwich breads. And within the WBC, within all our professional athletes, the boxers, all the NBA guys we work with, all our pro athletes, our cyclists and endurance athletes, there's a big rule. Training inflames you, so you don't want to consume anything that is inflammatory. So, this is an easy rule. No yeast, no mold, no dairy, no gluten. Dairy's like eating phlegm. No one eats dairy. Like, God forbid I take someone's cappuccino away. Like, I get that. But other than that, no dairy. It's gassy. It's bloating. So no dairy. And then breads, muffins, bagels, Hoyt breads, sandwich breads. They are yeast and mold bound. So they're multi-ingredient starches. So we set those aside because, again, they're inflammatory, yeast, mold, gluten. And the one-ingredient starches are your buddies. Don't be afraid of potatoes and rice and yams and oatmeals and oat flakes and oat puffs. Those are your pals. And they are required for an energy pattern to provide you with a sustainable energy source so you can train. So you can train at the level, that warrior level that you want to train at. So here's something to think about. You know how you hear people always say, oh, my metabolism is fast, oh, mine's slow. Actually, metabolism isn't fast or slow, it's hot or cold. Because the definition of a calorie is a heat energy unit. So calories represent heat. Metabolism is really a function of that heat. And fat, your body fat, as an athlete, and again, so important to know, and we push this again and again in the WBC, is that fat is a lipid, it's an oil. It will only convert to energy in a calorically hot environment. So here's the question. How many calories a day do you need to consume to generate enough heat to actually use fat as energy? Which is why undereating always causes your body to store and hoard fat. And if undereating worked, people wouldn't be fat. So it's important to get your foods in. Food programming, your caloric structures, your fats, proteins, and carbohydrates, they're an advocate for physique change and performance improvement. And any athlete that is really on the cutting edge of wellness, fitness, recovery, really understands that his kitchen is so important, and it should be just as strategic as you're training for competition or a match. So what did we learn today? Well, we learned that food is your friend, right? That the definition of water is fish must swim in it. Not sparkling, not bubbly, not flavored, just plain ass water. We learned that concussive events, they're going to occur, they're going to happen. And as the nutrition chairperson for the WBC, we are literally founded in science and proven in practice in ways to help reduce that potential effect of that big punch. And hydration has so much to do with it. And we're sending messages out on a daily, weekly, monthly basis about how important appropriate hydration is for our athletes, for our boxers, and our boxing community. And we're also sending that message of wellness. It's literally really built around recovery. So if you want to be a better athlete, you've got to recover so you can train better the next day. And that's all built around your kitchen and your sleep patterns and snacks. Snacking is easy and it is so important. And literally the best snacks are honestly always a combination of sugar and fat. And that sounds weird. Like when you think fat, you think, oh my God, fat's bad. When you think sugar, oh, sugar's bad. But really a fat and sugar combination is literally a piece of fruit and 12 almonds. That's easy. It's like literally a no-brainer. And these 200 calorie patterns of sugar and fat, they provide us with great energy bridges to get through our afternoons into our main meals. And a quick example is like, even like this guy, like these split packets. They're easy, they're convenient, they're literally a fruit and 12 almonds. Like there's a fruit, there's 12 almonds, you fold it, tear it, eat it. A Kind bar is a fruit and 12 almonds. A split packet is a fruit and 12 almonds, or you could have a fruit and 12 almonds, or a tablespoon of almond butter is equal to 12 almonds. These snacks are important. Got to get your snacks in. So it's important to eat, don't undereat. As an athlete, if you have questions, reach out to us at the WBC because we are your advocate for intense training, appropriate repair, cognitive health without a doubt, and supporting you in your endeavors as you continue your sport. I believe in health and wellness within sport and the ability to become a better athlete, a better human as a mentor within all sports. So thanks for listening, and I'll be talking to you on the other side.
you.